Welcome back to Stylex Studio, and this is class number 10 in the Photoshop for Beginners tutorial. And in this class we're going to be focusing on the eraser tool. Now within the eraser tool you have three options. You've got the eraser tool, the background eraser tool, and the magic eraser tool. So we'll be looking at all three in this tutorial. So without further ado, let's get straight into Photoshop. Okay, let's open up our Photoshop, and as you can see I have an image within my workspace which I've downloaded for the purpose of this tutorial. And let's see where our eraser tool is located in the toolbar. To the left side of your workspace you have your tools, and if you look at this icon here which looks like an eraser or a rubber, if you hover your mouse over it, it should say eraser tool with the letter E in bracket, E for echo. Okay, now that's just a shortcut key. For example, I'm currently in my move tool. If I was to press the letter E on my keyboard, it will take me straight to my eraser tool. Okay, if you right click on your eraser tool, it gives you three options: eraser tool, background eraser tool, and magic eraser tool. Like always, each tool brings its own set of options, as you will see at the top bar here. That's with the eraser tool, that's with the background eraser tool. So we'll work with the eraser tool first. Now those of you that saw the brush tool tutorial, this will be very simple for them. The eraser tool works exactly the same as a brush tool, the only difference being where the brush actually paints on, the eraser tool takes off. So all the properties associated with the brush tool you will get with the eraser tool. So okay, I've got a blank layer here. So you've got the same options as what we had with the brush tool. Yeah, and we will call this sky. Okay, for example, I'm on my sky layer, which is blank, as you can see. Select the blank layer, select the brush tool. Paint is going to be, foreground color is going to be black, so I'll just make a quick mark. With the brush tool, as you saw, with the stroke it applies paint. Now with the eraser tool, exactly the same thing, apart from it just removes instead of applies paint. So I will select my eraser tool, everything is the same, pick a point. Now left click down, hold the left click down and drag your mouse over the points that you would like, over the area that you would like to remove or erase, and as you can see it's erased. Very simple tool to use. Very destructive tool, mind you. It can be very destructive, okay, but I'll explain what that means in a later tutorial. So those of you that watch the brush tool should not have any problems understanding the eraser tool. Okay, exactly the same as the brush tool, difference being the brush paints on, the eraser takes off or wipes off. Okay, moving on to the magic eraser. Let's delete that layer. Your magic eraser being selected. Okay, let's select the magic eraser. So right click opens up your panel, and then left click to select that tool. As you can see, the sky, it's in 2 or 3 different shades of blue, shall we say. Okay, you've got the darker blue of the sky, and then you've got sort of like a middle ground of the blue, and then you've got the lighter shade of the blue. Okay, and that's exactly the same as what we worked with when we were studying or focusing on the magic wand tool. It will pick similar colors. As you can see, it's got a tolerance, anti-alias, contiguous, sample from all layers, and opacity. We will leave that as a default and pick a point here, the darker blues. So once I left click down at this point, it will analyze the dark blue pixels in that area, and whatever's in the vicinity or bordering those pixels of the same color, it will erase. For example, left click down, and as you can see, it's removed all those pixels from this point that were very similar. That was at tolerance 32. Let's say we increase that to 60 tolerance. Same point. As you can see, it will remove more colors because the tolerance has increased. Exactly the same as when we were studying the magic wand tool. So those of you that watched that video, I will leave a link on the screen somewhere. So those of you that haven't watched that magic wand tutorial, please watch that. This tool will become a lot easier for you guys to understand. Okay, so for example, let's take this back to 32 and we pick this color here, left click down, it will remove. Pick another color, left click down, it will remove. Pick another color, left click down, it will remove, so on and so forth. And there's a little bit here. As you can see, it's quite easy using the magic eraser tool or to remove parts or sections of an image. Okay, so now right click opens up your options, what options are available in the eraser tool. We want to pick the background eraser, so left click on that. As soon as you left click, you see your cursor changes. Now you have a circle with the plus sign in the middle of it. It's very important to know where your plus sign is. Okay, just like with any other tool, eraser tool had its own options, magic wand had its own options, and the background eraser has its own options. Okay, and we'll work with these three. Okay, now let's look at this option here. The first one is sampling continuous. Second one, or the middle one, is sampling once. Third one is background swatch. Let's look at the first one, sampling continuous. Select that. Now for example, we'll start at this point. Let's just go slightly up. We'll start at this point here, or even at this point. So for example, we want to start at this point. Increase and decrease the size of your brush according to your needs. So if you look, my cross point is on the image itself, although the circle is just beyond the image. Now let's start here. Left click down, wherever that plus hits and it sees a color, it will start removing. That's just continuous sampling. Okay, now moving on to the middle option, which is sample once. As you can see, it's a darker blue and a lighter blue where it meets the horizon. So let's go here. Unlike sampling continuous, sampling once, left click down. Now it's picked a sample point, which was a darker blue. As long as I keep my left click down and keep dragging my mouse over colors, it will keep removing colors that were close or matching to the original sample point. Okay, but as soon as the color changes, it will stop erasing, and at this point it stopped erasing. My left click is still held down, but it's not erasing anymore. Okay, so hopefully that concept of sample once you understood. Wherever you sample from, now until I release my left click, which I've released my left click and go to a new point, and I'll sample this point now. Left click down and I'll drag. it will remove any colors that were similar or close to that sample point. Okay, and it will not remove any other color. So hopefully you got the concept of sample continuous and sample once. Okay, obviously you can increase and decrease the tolerance as per your needs, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood the concept of sampling continuous and sampling once. Now as you can see, we've left some patches here. If we go into the eraser tool, let's increase the size of the brush and just erase. Okay, you see how easy it is to erase parts of an image with these eraser tools. So hopefully you guys have understood the concept of how to use and apply, how to use and utilize the eraser tool. Okay, so now just to finish this image off, for example, we've removed the sky, we want to replace the sky. I've got another image here. Going to the image that you require, left click down, with the left click held down, move your cursor to the image that you're working with. Once that image appears, do not release your left click, drag your mouse over the image, and as soon as you drag your mouse over the image, you'll see a white border, as you can see from here. Okay, appear. Once that border appears, go anywhere on the canvas and release your left click. Okay, once we've actually pasted that image on, we can transform it by Control T, Alt Shift down, and let's go here and let's confirm that. Now as you can see, this is the topmost image, so it's covering anything below it. So if we wanted to replace the skies, we have to make sure the sky is the layer beneath the layer that we're working with. Okay, so now as you can see, it's not really actually coming to, we need to work with it slightly more. I should do it, I think, and let's fit to screen. Okay, as you can see, we managed to replace the sky by using the eraser tools. So hopefully you've understood the concepts of how the eraser tools work. Now, as always, if you didn't understand something, definitely post a comment in the comments below. And remember, hit that subscribe button, like and share these videos, and definitely hit the bell icon so you get notified when we upload tutorials for you guys. Okay, so you can keep up with your classes. As always, remember to do your practice runs. Go away, do your practice runs, because only practice makes perfect. Until the next time, take care of yourselves. We'll see you in class number 11. Adios, amigos.